I'm Darina Sarhan, and I'm at the annual fashion show at Humber College. Today, we have Jenny Lowe representing her brand, who is also the sponsor. Um, Tell me, Jenny, what's the nature of your brand and company?
The brand of the company is DV Creative Incorporation, and we established as a 100% Canadian company, and it's mainly for branding out new products to Canada, to the world.
And what type of products do you have?
Our product actually we are product design development company, and then one of our major product now, the first major product now is wigs. Yeah.
And are you excited for the event tonight?
Yes, because we are very happy and to be one of the major sponsor, and I'm really appreciate that Professor Dawson allow us to do it. And at the same time, since it's on live, many of the people in across the Pacific Ocean, especially in China and Hong Kong, they are watching the show now. Yeah.
Do you have any expectations for tonight?
I have any expectation that I hope our brand and also want to bring the Humber College, especially for their fashion show every year across the world too.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I hope you enjoy your night. Thank you. I'm here with Joseph from D3 Creative. Joseph, tell us a little bit about your company.
Well, actually, D3 Creative is from three of the people we group together, and we are the pure Canadian company, and we are the product design development company, and also we focus on very like a high-end fashion product. That is what we are.
And I heard you recently expanded your brand. Is that true?
Yes, we expanding our product category. So we have a wig, we have our product design such as like some accessory related to the fashion product as well.
And do you have any expectations for tonight?
Well, we would like to expand our idea to all the new generation and hope that they can join to our company and go all over the world and bring Humber College and bring Canadian design to the world.
And you're talking about expanding it into more products, right? What's the nature of those products like?
Nature of the product, we are very into the out of the boxes. That is a secret right now. I'm not going to tell you. Yeah, we were going to share with you later on. Follow our website, follow our Instagram and social media. You will know more later on. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy your event.
Thank you.
I'm here with Shelly. She's one of the designers tonight. Tell us, Shelly, tell us about your collection. That's all we want to know.
The new collection, I'm showing both men's and women's. So the 5 women's pieces are a lot floofier than my normal pieces. So they're very Marie Antoinette, very macaroon parfait sort of feeling. You'll see when it goes on the runway. The menswear is actually a little bit more brazen for me this season, so I'm using a lot of pinks and plum tones, and I'm doing some high-low pieces for men, so we'll see how that goes.
That's really interesting. And what inspires every collection? Like, what inspired specifically this collection for you?
For me, the women's wear, actually, it was inspired by High Tea at La Durée. La Durée is my favorite French patisserie from France. And when it came to Yorkdale, I loved going there and the feelings there, the colors. It was my happy place. So the women's wear sort of started from there. The menswear, I've been playing a little bit with lengths. So last year I showed a lot of very, very long jackets. The season before I did crop jackets, so I thought I'd combine them and try a sort of mix between the two. And they're very sort of highbrow English equestrian sort of feel. So, yeah.
And how many collections have you released so far?
I started back in '97, so a lot.
So you've been in the industry for quite some time, right? Have you faced any challenges?
I faced many challenges. There's always challenges. I think that a lot of people seem to think that get into the industry thinking that it's a lot more glamorous than it is, because they come to these events and they see the parties, they see the style, the I don't want to say debauchery, but the lavishness. But that's not really what it is. There's a lot of hard work involved. You're always going to have to, you're all working all the time. You sacrifice a lot of vacation time. I haven't had a vacation in 3 years.
And are you excited for tonight?
Yeah, the team, the Humber team, did most of the work, so I just brought the clothes. Really, I had very little to do with much of it, except providing them the looks that they had chosen. So I leave it in their hands.
Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy your night. Thank you for coming by. I'm with Matthew from Maddie's Fab Avenue. Tell us a little bit more about that. I know you pride yourself for being unique. Let's talk about that.
So my slogan actually is being unique is always fabulous. So what Maddie's Fab Avenue is, it's a platform that I collaborate with different Canadian designers to make one-of-a-kind pieces and exclusive collections for my boutique. So I like to support the Canadian fashion community. Yeah.
And what inspires your collections? I've been browsing through your website and they do really look unique. So where do you get all that inspiration from?
Honestly, it comes from like even runway shows to streets to the city of Toronto. I love Toronto so much. All of Canada, when I travel here and there, I just get inspired by a bunch of things. Little things like TV shows, pop culture, like little things here and there just inspire me to reach out to the designers and see what we can come up with and make it a fabulous collection.
And are you planning to expand your brand even more?
Yeah, like there's going to be a lot of things in the works that I'm really, really excited for. So stay tuned for more. And yeah, there's going to be such fabulous stuff. I'm like loving it. Yeah.
That's amazing. I hope you enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course.
Yes.
I'm with Joseph right now, who's one of the designers tonight. Tell us a little bit about your collection.
Well, essentially, with everything that I do, no matter what the collection is, it's always that growth and that story. And it's kind of that little romance that you try and create within pieces. So this season, more or less, I'm showing my core. So you're going to see my great staple kind of cloth coats, men's and ladies, always with a little bit of a twist.
And have you always wanted to become a designer?
Oh yes, yeah. You know what? It was actually something that came very naturally. When I was about 5 years old, I got inspired by my mother's drapes and then started creating creations for my 3 sisters. So I could technically sew before I could read.
That's fascinating. And from where do you get the inspiration for each collection that you have? Do you need to go somewhere or look for something?
I think inspiration is all around you, and I think it's in the people that are even in front of you. I look at my surroundings and I look at the energies that are around me, and from there you listen, and then great pieces come to you.
And what are your expectations for tonight, though? Are you excited to see all the other collections that are going to be here?
I always love to see more made in Canada. As I am trying to be this brand ambassador for more made in Canada, more made here, anytime that you see designers creating and encouraging our economy and jobs here, it's the world to me.
Thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoy your night. Really, thank you so much. This was lovely. I'm here with Roger, who has been in this industry for a very long time. Tell us, what challenges have you faced? I mean, you've been around the block for a while now, right?
A number of decades. The question is, I'm sorry, is what are the challenges we're going through right now? Fashion Week, obviously, we're overseeing the new rebranding of Fashion Weeks. Into is the new one coming up in May, and the challenges being heavy on moving more towards a consumer than an industry focus. So it's something that's working well for us, and love events like this with Humber tonight, where we're seeing the next generation and new thought leaders within our market. So yeah, challenges are always overcome as well.
And speaking of generations, do you see the fashion industry evolving? As in, for someone who has been there and has seen for so many years, do you see those drastic changes, and what are they?
Yeah, if anything, I was with a designer this morning, and a lot of the big changes now are menswear, where we're getting a lot more involved in menswear that traditionally stayed with women's wear, where the industry is just so much larger. And accessory markets, Canada on the global stage as well, with the various brands that we're getting into, where we never really played as much of a focus as we did now. So, from an evolving standpoint, yeah, it's constantly changing, but it's players not sticking with the same norms that they used to within certain markets.
And let's talk about the competitive nature of this industry. How would you tell, or what would you tell young designers that are just entering? What should they look out for?
again, had that conversation at noon with somebody else. And the comment was, find your own. Don't try and be the same as everybody else. Find your style. Find your market. Find your look. Be different. Be unique. Gone is the industry where you had to be a copycat and to follow a certain formula. Those days are gone with social media, where they literally want you to be unique, be different. So yeah, my advice to anybody, is find your own, and it's really where the changes are in this market too.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoy your event tonight. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
With JJ Kings, who is a social media influencer. Tell us, James, the nature of your Instagram page. What do you do?
So I do a lot of different makeup looks. So I am a self-taught makeup artist. I kind of was like growing up as an art student, and when I moved to Toronto, I found people that were in the fashion industry and the makeup industry and hair industry, and so they took me under their wing and they started teaching me things, and then I went to YouTube and started learning how to do makeup and experimenting with makeup as an art form.
And what type of looks do you usually go to?
So today is more simple. This is like a simple look for me. Usually I do either more drag, which like drag queen, eyebrows, creative, stuff like that, or I do geometric, almost like graffiti looks. But it all depends on how I'm feeling and the outfit that I'm wearing and how much time I have, because it takes a while.
And have you faced any challenges along your way of creating all these makeup looks and, having that journey?
I think for me, the biggest struggle is defining what I want to do, because it is an expression for me. It's kind of based on how I'm feeling that day and if I even want to do it. So sometimes I find it difficult if I'm sitting down in front of a mirror, getting ready to put on makeup and I just don't feel like doing it. It's just the same way that I would draw or paint. I have to be in the mood to do it. So I find that's a struggle for me.
And would you ever consider becoming a fashion designer?
I actually started trying to do design in high school. I went to a thrift store, bought a sewing machine with my own money. I was like, I'm going to teach myself. Honestly, it's too confusing to me. I don't know how well I would do. I think the design portion, if I paired with a designer, that'd be really cool, but I don't think I could do it alone.
And are you excited for tonight's event?
I'm very excited. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoy the night. Thank you so much. I'm here with Phil from Holler Magazine. I know that your magazine strives and encourages the youth to speak and do and say what they want. Yep. Tell us more a little bit about that. Where did that mission come from?
We wanted them to holler. We wanted them to feel confident about being who they are. And a lot of it is kind of creating content that entertains, educates, and empowers. And I think that the world could certainly use a lot of that. And a lot of it coming from Canada. I mean, it just makes sense. We have a really good view of the world, and a lot of great people that come from here and that are inspired by people from here.
And is there anything specific that you're looking forward to tonight as a magazine?
Well, yeah, I mean, talent in general. I mean, if it's emerging talent, that's great. I know we have a couple of student designers that I'm looking forward to seeing. There's some new talent that's on the scene, and there's some established talent out there that I'm looking for just to see what their new collections look like, and I'm sure I'm going to be impressed.
And are there any expectations for tonight for you?
Last year was my first year attending, so I got to see the students' interpretation of their show, and it was different. I remember there being a ballerina at one point. I remember some really great designs. I love the way they've laid out the space. And so yeah, I'm just looking forward to being in an environment that is very Holler-like and inspirational.
Okay, I hope you enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
I'm here with Elvina right now from Humber College. Tell us, Elvina, what do you like about this event? Are you excited for it?
I'm always excited about the fashion event. It's the culmination of the students' hard work. It's evidence of how they capture the essence of the program, and I think it brings industry partners, students, and faculty together.
And is this your first time attending?
No, I think I've attended 20 of them.
Wow, and since you have attended about 20 of them, do you see it becoming better each year?
I think I wouldn't say better, but it's different, certainly different each year. Students have their own, flavor in terms of how they want fashion to be perceived. And I think every year is a different experience, and so that's what makes it an enjoyable experience, but also creative as well.
And how do you feel like events like this help students grow and build bigger in their careers?
So they're growing in their chosen careers. That would be fashion, but they also collaborate with other students like yourself in the journalism program, in the media program, where photography program. I think what they do is connect with industry, connect with designers of today and the future. They put together marketing plans, and I think it really gives them a holistic perspective of what it means to be a student at Humber College in the fashion program.
Okay, thank you so much. I hope you enjoy the rest of tonight. Thank you. I'm with Zane, who's one of the designers tonight. So tell us a little bit about your collection. What are you bringing in tonight?
So today I'll be softly launching my women's collection as well. I have been, showcasing my men's wear for about 5 years, but today I'll be giving you a glimpse of my women's collection, which will be fully launched in May.
And what inspired this collection?
Basically, like I said, I've been in the menswear business for about 5 years, and I felt like coming into women would be something it's a lucrative market. It's going to be a challenging market, but I felt like I should be coming into women's.
And what are you expecting to see tonight? We know that there are a lot of designers. Do you feel like you're competing against them?
No, I feel like I'm actually happy to see so many designers, and I feel I actually saw there's some student designers as well, and it's really humbling to see where Canadian fashion is going, and if Canada fashion grows, I'm very happy.
All right, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed tonight.
Thank you.
I'm with Samantha from Park City Boots. Tell us, Samantha, a little bit about your brand.
So Park City Boot is a Toronto company. It's all designed here, but we manufacture in Portugal. And we go up to size 17.
And what inspires your collection?
We're really inspired by leather, beautiful. We use beautiful Spanish leather. Our motto is for gents on the go. So everything really has a beautiful, elegant, but hardy, practical, wearable aesthetic to it.
And do you have a target?
Customer?
Yes.
Our customer really waffles, but I would say a man between the age of 25 and 40. He's working, he's going from the boardroom to the boardwalk, likes to go into nature, but loves the city life, from downtown, everything, mixes it up.
And do you have any expectations for tonight?
We're excited to see how the beautiful students will stylize everything. We love seeing, our boots in action. So.
And is it your first time attending this event?
This event, yes, for sure.
So are you excited for everything that's going to be happening?
We're very excited, yes. It's going to be a beautiful show.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you.
I'm with James from JM Trends. Tell us a little bit about your brand, James.
Well, my name is James. I'm the creative director for JM Trends. Our brand is especially made for classic men and the men that they want to look exceptionally well from whatever they are going to, maybe they're outing or business casuals, or if there's any weddings they are having. And what sets us apart are our collections of fabrics, our cuts, and our styles. That's what sets us apart from other designers.
And have you always wanted to become a designer?
Oh, yes, actually, I would say it's been part of my blood because my dad used to make footwears in wholesales for Famad and Bata. They are old retails back in the days. And I used to visit my dad's factory way back. And growing up, I have the passion for being an entrepreneur and always want to see how can I develop my own creative ideas. And coming to Canada, I've been going to a fashion show, and I discovered that I have an edge, and I have I have a role to play in the industry. That's what made me to decide to do it full time.
And are you excited for tonight?
I'm extremely, because I've been following Infuse Umber for some years now, and I've been seeing their marvelous things they've been doing day in, day out. And I know a couple of designers that have being on the show in the previous years. And when they invited me to be part of tonight's show, I was so glad, and I'm ready to be part of it.
Awesome. And what advice would you give to starting designers that are just getting their foot into the industry?
My advice to them is basically you just have to be focused. At the beginning, it might be difficult for you in terms of in terms of funds, having to work with good people that will actually put your feet right on the track. So you just have to be focused, and you have to keep pushing, because at the beginning, trust me, it might be difficult for you, because and sometimes you have to learn on the job as well. It's a work in progress. The more experience you have during the years, the better you become in the process. So just keep your dream alive.
Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy your event tonight, and good luck with your future collections.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us at the red carpet of Humber's annual fashion show. If you want to tune in, go and check it out in 15 minutes. I'm Durna Sarhan. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Good evening. Welcome to Humber Center for Entrepreneurship. My name is Jennifer Dawson, and I'm the Program Coordinator for Fashion Arts and Business in the Faculty of Business. It is my pleasure to serve as your Master of Ceremonies this evening. Tonight, the Fashion Arts and Business students present their capstone project that explores producing an industry-standard fashion event. Students gain hands-on knowledge in experiential learning, in the design, the development, direction, and the coordination of all elements in the production of a fashion show. It is my pleasure to introduce Regina Hartwick, manager of our Aboriginal Resource Center, for our land acknowledgement.
I'm really happy to be here, not just because this is a wonderful event, but because what I'm going to do is very important. And so I want to start off by introducing myself, and I want to introduce myself in one of the original languages of this place. And so I'm going to start by saying Gina Ndijnakas, and what that means is my name is Gina. Wabjeshi Dorem, so that means my clan is from the Martin. Kichizibi Minwa Nogojiwanong Ndonjaba, so that means that I'm from the Kichizibi, which is the Ottawa River Valley. I'm a member of Ardoch Algonquin First Nation, but I'm also from Nogojiwanong, which is the Peterborough region, so that's the traditional name of that place as well. And so I'm also a Anishinaabe Kwe, which means I'm a Anishinaabe woman. So what I'm going to do next is offer up a prayer in the language. And so one thing that I will say is that this is something that's new for me. Language is something that I've been really struggling with to reclaim in my life. And so I'm somebody who really thinks that it's important to acknowledge those victories, small and large. And so for me, this is a big thing. So Gije Manado, Noko Misanonik, Mishon Misanonik, Miigwech Kinagego, Ga Mijiong. Miigwech Giwednong, Wabnong, Jaunong, Minwa, Epengishmuk. Miigwech Adobigok, Miigwech Minobamadziong. And so in sending up these words of introduction and thanks in the Anishinaabe language, we acknowledge the land originally known as Adobigok, the place of the Black Alders in the Mississauga language. This land provides an interconnection for Indigenous peoples that has gone back since before our first stories. And it continues to provide that interconnection for all peoples today. So we come and we learn, and we learn more about ourselves in this place. We also acknowledge the grandfathers and grandmothers who fought to survive, not only for themselves, but so that we can all live and be well today. And sending up these words, we acknowledge the power of relationships as well as the responsibility of it. For while I'm Anishinaabe, I remain a visitor here in Michi-Saagiig traditional territory. And so what I will say, because this is not something that a lot of people know, so Michi-Saagiig is the Mississauga people. That's the traditional name for the Mississauga people, and so I wanted to also offer that. And so while I keep in mind that I am a visitor to this place, so while I am Anishinaabe, I'm Algonquin, and that means that my traditional territory is the Kichizibi, not specifically this place, although we are connected through family and by a long history. I've also learned acknowledging the land and the histories that stem from it, and by connecting day after day with this place, I too am a part of this place. And so I experienced that connection as both a gift and a responsibility, which has led me to ask these important questions as I go through my day. And so I ask, what is my connection to the land I'm standing on right now? What has it taught me, and what will it continue to teach me? And so I hope that you too might think of the land and what it means to you as you go about your day. I encourage you to think about what you have learned and will learn in the future. And I hope you consider the gift and responsibility embedded in that knowledge and how the steps you take today could potentially shape generations to come. If we consider our steps both individually and collectively, we cannot help but walk softly. And so I say miigwech, and thank you for listening.
Thank you, Regina. I would now like to recognize our Senior Dean of the Faculty of Business, Alvina Cassiani. Thank you for your ongoing support for our program and for this event. And thank you for the red carpet interview earlier this evening. We would also like to give special mention to our Associate Dean, James Cullen. This room, like so many rooms at Humber College, is a working classroom, and we have interdisciplinary learning occurring as we speak. Thank you to Guillermo Acosta for the media studies collaboration and live stream, as well as photography throughout the evening. Thank you. Thank you to Antonio Felino, catering coordinator from the Faculty of Business. Thank you to our Humber alumni, William Lemereau, who will be opening the show this evening. And finally, a very special thank you to our corporate sponsors, our program advising committee, administrators, faculty, staff, community partners, and of course, all of our students who have supported our event and made tonight possible. Enjoy the show. I'd also like to quickly mention that William wrote this piece especially for tonight's show.
The theme for the fashion show is the elements of Humber, which is fire, earth, water, and air. And you can see throughout the show all of the different elements, how they come together through the designers, through the decorations, through the lighting. Everything is for this theme.
The best part of producing in this fashion show is the connection that actually we're making.
Collaborating with different teammates, team members, companies.
Contacting designers and sponsors and media, because right now we're doing our very best to contact as many people as we can.
When you're given the opportunity to take responsibility and leadership, it's just so cool to see people grow.
Per se, I wanted to start my own fashion line or fashion show. I know the mechanics behind everything.
And I'm very excited that I've gotten this opportunity, and I'm definitely taking full advantage of it.
If I were to describe this fashion show in one word, I will describe it extravaganza.
Magnificent.
Educational, and if I get to choose a second, rewarding.
Kylie, air. It is all around us. It is life. It is sustenance, codependent with fire, and although it is invisible, it powers all things. Aqua, water. It signifies cleansing, rebirth. This sacred element sustains life.
My name is Lana Quader.
My name is Lilith Azarian.
We're the designers behind Broche Bridal Couture Lab. Broche is an artist-run boutique that carries a progressive collection of timeless bridal, couture, and contemporary pieces. Our mission with creating this gallery was to create a platform where artists can design with complete freedom and raise awareness on the sustainability and high-quality craftsmanship in the fashion industry.
Because we are sustainably driven, a wedding dress, it's not only a dress for one day. We have pieces here that all the fabric is recycled. So once you have the dress, you can bring it back to us, and then we upcycle the dress to something else. It can continue to be like a part of your wardrobe still.
At Broche, we represent other designers that have an artist approach that we think have something different to say.
When I look at something, if that talks to me, it means it's a good thing in a way. You know, if I look at something and I see it's just pretty, it's not enough. The advice that I have for aspired fashion designer, especially in Toronto, if you have an idea, just stay true to that and just keep going.
Don't be afraid to take risks. That's what life is about in general, and that should be applied to your designs as well.
It's going to be hard, but at the end you'll get there.
I'm Zain Burlas, the founder and creative director of my namesake clothing brand. I grew up in a family filled with finance professionals. For as long as I can remember, our conversations were always about stock exchanges or the economy. So in that sense, I guess I had an idea where I wanted to be from a very young age. Immediately after graduating, I joined a bank on Bay Street, where I spent full-time for about 12 years in numerous roles. So during my corporate banking days, I realized that subconsciously I enjoyed the sartorial nature of my field. I had a wardrobe filled with suits that I had designed myself based on my preferences, and of course these preferences were obviously not mainstream, which is why soon I found myself creating suits for my friends and colleagues. So I take my inspiration from the cities I visit, the people that I meet. Inspiration is something that I feel is all around us. There's no way to put yourself in a world where you won't be influenced by what you're surrounded with. But what you do with that inspiration is what's most important. My mother once said, never to think without a pencil. I try to live by that in everything that I do, because we find ourselves coming up with these brilliant ideas that just evaporate and never to reappear. But the moment you draw it or write it down, you bring it into existence. Something that will last longer than just a mere thought. Also, running a business is an uphill battle. Do not underestimate it. Take risks, but make sure they're calculated. You will be undermined, you will be challenged, and you will have to face losses. But nothing can overpower you if you have one thing, and that's unbreakable passion.
line is called Kirithby Designs. I specialize in custom evening wear, primarily formal, wedding, bridal, anything like that. I recently launched a ready-to-wear evening wear line, which is called Evelyn, named after my grandmother, and I'm based here in Toronto. I never initially believed that I was going to end up in the fashion industry. I wanted to do a lot of different creative things, from interior design and makeup artistry. And as a child, I've always been sewing. So for my dolls, my friends, my family members, and so it was more of a hobby for me, and that's why I went to school initially. But after beginning formal training and exploring what the industry looked like, that's when I got more interested in doing it. When I was finished university, or my post-secondary education, I interned for a couple different designers in the city. Subsequent to that, I actually became sick. So I was diagnosed with cancer, and I wasn't able to work or do anything for a little while. And it wasn't until towards the end of my treatment, I was at home and I was sewing and drawing, and I started working on a collection, and once I was able to, I presented that collection when I was done treatment and chemo, and that's when I guess I was born, Kirithby Designs became, and the name itself just came from one of my girlfriends. She used to just say that about me when I was at home and working on things, and so that's where the name came from. So I get to learn a lot about my clients. We get to form long-lasting bonds, and I get to help that person be or present their very best selves on one of their most exciting and happiest moments of their lives, which is really fun for me. Spend a lot of time mastering your craft and know exactly what it is you want to put out, and it's okay for that to change, but be good at it.
wanted to proudly show product that is made in Canada and how great we are as craftsmen. To do is to show a mixture from heavy down outer weight pieces to medium weight to cloth coats to opera coats made of silk. The way that I truly design is to complement you and how you are now, not how you sometimes people believe it should be. The true art is really in the details. With my pieces, I try and offer everything. From there is creating looks that work with you and make you feel confident. I think what's next for me really is to make this available to consumers more across Canada, because right now we are available across Canada and in the US. You know, like how proud I am to make product within Canada and how great we are as tailors.
Hi, I'm Shelly O. I'm the designer for the Shelly O clothing brand. The
Shelia brand consists of menswear and women's wear collections. They're high-end luxury goods. The women's wear tends to cater towards my more aspirational side, dreamy, ethereal, very delicate, very pretty, whereas the menswear is more classical tailoring menswear looks. I grew up listening to a lot of UK indie music, watched a lot of French New Wave film. I started making clothes for myself when I was 16. So in my early years, I was working in New York at the time, and I had a roommate who was a businessman and decided he was going to convince me to come back to Toronto, start my own label. Having worked in New York City, and also having lived in LA, I always tell people that the Toronto fashion industry is unique, how often we communicate with each other to try to figure things out. We were very lucky to have such a supportive industry here, an industry that is so collaborative and so cooperative. To anyone just starting out in the industry, remain vigilant in your passion. Always. It can be a very tough industry to be in. It can be very difficult and trying sometimes. I think it's important to hold that passion in your heart to sort of get you through those times.
Ignis, fire, a representation of strength, passion, and warmth lighting up any room. It is energy itself which cannot exist on its own. Terra, earth, it is matter, our physical body, the food we eat, and the world around us, stable, reliable, a constant foundation for the journey.
My name is Michelle, and I'm here representing Youth Without Shelter, who's also the charitable recipient for this event. It's really good to be here today. I'm actually a Humber College graduate, graduated in 2009, and just being here again, it's such a great feeling. I can say from personal experience, Humber College has this culture of excellence that exists among staff and the students. And so with that, of course, thank you on behalf of Youth Without Shelter for everyone involved in the elements of the Humber Fashion Show. Thank you for working so hard in the planning and the organizing of this event. And of course, thank you for choosing YWS as the charitable recipient. Know that the passion poured out into this has not only demonstrated your groundbreaking creativity, but it's also impacted the lives of many youth in a very meaningful and tangible way. So for those who may not know, YWS has been located in the community of Etobicoke for over 30 years, providing a safe refuge for youth ages 16 to 24. Youth who often, through no fault of their own, find themselves without a home to call their own, and many before the age of 16. The majority are victims of abuse, abandonment, and have no support system. Two core principles that guide all services at YWS is the resiliency model of care and a trauma-informed care. We focus on building relationships with the youth and highlighting their strengths so that each of them can have an opportunity and the right to a future that is not dictated by their past. I remember the unwavering drive of a young lady. She had to get through her educational journey. Her means of navigating through the difficulties that came with experiencing a family breakdown and homelessness nevertheless did not affect her vision. She ended up graduating with honors, and since her graduation has gained valuable experience in the architectural design industry for the GTA area. This is resiliency. And when self-motivation is reciprocated by efforts such as this, we see the impossible become possible, which is in essence what hope is all about. And so I'll conclude with this. At YWS, our vision is to end homelessness one youth at a time, one step at a time. And today we are one step closer to doing just that. And once again, this would not be possible without community supports like yours. Thank you, and I believe as a community we should take pride in the students like yourselves whose innovative initiatives are creating a foundation and a future filled with possibilities, opportunities, and hope. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle, and thank you everyone for being here tonight and supporting Youth Without Shelter. We're very proud to support this charity. Next, I would like to move on to our Designer Support of the Year, and I'd like to call upon Joseph Tassoni to accept this award. So on behalf of Humber College, we'd like to present you Designer Support of the Year for all of your support and contributions to our fashion show. You've been in this show for the past 3 years and also working with our Humber students for internship opportunities. So let's have a round of applause for Joseph. Would you like to say a few words?
Yes. First of all, guys, just got to say something. Big thank you to all of you for coming out and supporting Canadian design and Canadian designers. So thank you. As well, I'm incredibly humbled with this award, not only to help inspire students to bring and design more here in Canada, but to encourage Canadian design and for it to be seen on a global platform. So I thank all of you because you being here tonight shows that support. So thank you again and enjoy the rest of the show.
My name is Kadeem Faustin, or Kadeem Kyle Faustin. My brand is Cal Javasi. It's me. on me. I used to model before being a designer, and I did African Fashion Week 6 years ago. And like I met so much beautiful designers. Their work is just like that inspired me. And I told myself and like my friends was like, I don't want to be here next year. I want to be in the position that they are. I want to be the designer, not the model. I have a different idea of leadership. I lean on my workers. I lean on everyone for everything. And it's more a collaboration more so than me bossing them around. I want to build a family. I want to build a team that believes in my brand because they believe in it, not because I tell them to. My team inspire me. They give me the drive. Like they are doing the job that I'm supposed to do for them. I'm the leader that allows their workers to just explore and do them. Whatever works for you, just ensure that the final product is a positive one. I pride myself in wanting to change the way people see fashion and have people respect African prints and African fashion, because it is a thing. Dress how you feel, design how you feel, and that comes from a true place. You cannot just do it. Make sure that it comes from somewhere, and if it comes from somewhere, then you have a reason to do it. If it doesn't, then it will not work.
Hello, my name is Tani Atkinson. I'm from the small island of Jamaica. Designing women's wear out of crochet fabric is like painting for me. Both of them kind of go hand in hand, so creating colors and patterns. I love making stuff for women and I love them feeling good about themselves. I started designing my own line last year in 2018 when I really wanted to branch out and do more of what I wanted to do. I know there's a lot of fast fashion in the industry right now, and I am very interested in sustainable and ethical fashion. So where I get my fabrics from is very important to me. It pushes me to be creative and push my boundaries. Being a designer in the Toronto fashion industry, I'm not really from here. Coming to a country where it's multicultural, you can express yourself in different forms and people gravitate what you put out there. It's very awesome to be a part of something bigger than yourself. My advice with anyone starting in the fashion industry in Toronto, I know that social media and a lot of things are moving really fast right now. Take time and build your craft, work on yourself, and get it all perfect without putting something half out there that you don't really love. Like, that's the best advice I can give anyone.
My name is James. I'm the creative director for GM Trends. I'm from Nigeria, Africa. I moved to Canada 5 years ago. GM Trends has been on for the past 10 years, but when I moved to Canada, I stopped working as a project manager, then started working, doing GM Trends full-time here in Canada, and it's been an amazing journey. I've done a couple of shows around North America. We're in Dallas, New York, and also in downtown Toronto as well. Fashion has been like in my family because my dad used to be an industrialist back in my country. I used to go to the factory where they usually manufacture those things. So the interest of fashion has been on since then, but I never thought I'll be doing something working in that line. What I love most about designing is about the feels you get when you dress so well, like the inspiration that comes within, because I see designing as a language. The industry in Toronto is growing and professionally, which is really, really good for the industry. They are also setting examples for people coming behind. My advice for aspiring fashion designers, I believe, if you can think about it, you can achieve it no matter what it is. It might take you time to get there, but if you are persistent in your work and your creativity is original, trust me, you will get there.
My name is Roma Anzar. I design custom dresses for women who want to feel special, look great, and feel great. I like to make one-off pieces, one of a kind that you can't find again. I like to work one-on-one with my clients and create something really special for them. I've not always been interested in the fashion industry. I think I was more into architecture when I was much younger, but as I got older, I started designing clothes. When I was about 17, I really started to make clothing, and then that's where it started. So my brand, Roma Anzar Couture, really came about in the last 2 years, where I started to actually design and create things more than just for customers and clients, and I wanted to just make clothes for the heck of making clothes. So each garment that I make is custom couture for the client that it's going for. It's always different. It always has a bit of what the client is looking for and a lot of my touch to it. I help women look, feel great, and wear the clothes and not have the clothes wear them. My inspiration really comes from the dark arts, dark fashion. I really love rock and roll. I'm a metal girl, and I like to bring that into my work. So in the work from here on, that's what's going to show a lot more of where my inspiration is built from, which is it really stems from the music that I listen to. My advice to anybody that wants to get into the fashion industry, it's hard, it's tough, but believe in yourself and know that this is what you want to do and this is where you want to be, and that you will get there one day.
I'm most excited to see it all come together and to see all the different types of people we bring in, and to also see what all the designers come up with for their looks.
And everyone is excited about it. Our entire class is basically working day and night, you know, answering 3 AM messages, and just like seeing how like all your hard work comes like to an end. I'm inspired by like art. I used to paint, so I'm like inspired by paint. I'm a crochet designer, so I really wanted to like focus on my niche.
My program coordinator, Jennifer, she's really passionate about the shows. It gives good energy to everyone else working on it. Everyone's like really excited about it, and we can thank her for that. So.
The excitement that rolls like when the show is about to start is what I'm the most excited about.
My name is Michael Zafranieri. I'm the creative director and founder of Zoff. I think I started being interested in fashion when I was really young. I really loved the way people moved and lived their lives. It was in high school that I really started to understand that this could be for employment and an opportunity where I could be creative. If a fashion line is really good, I think it'll speak for itself. Of course, anyone can make a really great dress or a great pair of trousers, but I think it's the heart and soul that comes from everything you do and who you are and what you bring to the table. The real purpose for why I'm doing what I'm doing is to share my stories and to share, the client stories. Throughout this process, I've learned, of course, as a business, being sustainable, having profit is important, but also people, always thinking about, how your team works, how you can create your own goals together. And so it's a different mindset. If you're starting out in the Toronto fashion industry, participate, be present, be open to possibilities. Start your business when you're in school. Don't wait till you graduate, or don't wait 5 to 10 years later. I learned that you can start right away. Do it.
What everyone think of the show? This now concludes the runway portion of the show, but before everyone leaves, I'd just like to say thank you everyone for being here tonight in support with Youth Without Shelter, as well as our Fashion Arts and Business program. And now, I would like to announce the Fashion Arts and Business graduating class of 2019 to have their chance to walk it out.